Buenas noches, damas y caballeros, y bienvenidos a la clase del señor O'Rear en casa. Esta noche vamos a estudiar una lección del pretérito irregular. In order to know how to deal with the irregular preterite, we have to review the regular preterite. You have to have already memorized the endings for the AR, ER, and IR verbs. AR verb endings are aste, o, amos, and aron. ER verbs and IR verbs are iste, yo, imos, and yeron. Can't forget about the, oh yeah, by the way, Kargars are. Yo form has a spelling change. C changes to QU, G changes to GU, and Z to C only in the yo form. For ER and IR verbs, we had to deal with ber. Not really irregular, just no accent marks. So yo vi, tu viste, él vio, nosotros vimos, and ellos vieron, no accent marks. Now in chapter 3a, we start with 4 new irregular verbs that we need to conjugate, and they're irregular preterite verbs. They are tener, estar, poder, and hacer. In order to conjugate these verbs, we're going to start with the endings from the regular verbs. We're going to take 2 steps here. Step 1, let's get rid of the accent marks. Irregular verbs have no accent marks. That's good news. Step 2, we're going to use every other ending. We're going to combine those 2 boxes, and we're going to end up with the endings for all of the 4 irregular verbs. Now the base of tener is normally ten, but ten is going to change to tuv. So we take tuv, repeat it 5 times, and we just plug in those 5 endings. Yo tuve, tú tuviste, él tuvo, ella tuvo, usted tuvo, nosotros tuvimos, ellos, ellas, and ustedes tuvieron. We do the same thing with estar. The base of estar is normally est, but it's going to change to estuv. Now we take those endings, and we're going to plug them into that base. We have yo estuve, I was, tú estuviste, you were, él estuvo, ella estuvo, usted estuvo, nosotros estuvimos, we were, and ellos estuvieron, they were. Same thing with poder. The base, P-O-D, is going to change to P-U-D. So we have yo pude, tú pudiste, which of course means you could, you were able. Él pudo, nosotros pudimos, ellos, ellas, and ustedes pudieron. And the last verb, hacer, to make or to do. HAC is normally the base, but HAC will change to HIC. So the yo form, after we take the 5 verb bases, and we take the yo form is HICE, yo hice, I did, I made. Tú hiciste, you made, you did. Él, ella, usted hizo. Nosotros hicimos. And ellos, ellos, ustedes hicieron. But wait a minute, él is not hizo, that's hico. We need to change hico to hizo. How do we do that? Well, let's change that C to a Z. Now it becomes hizo. So get out a piece of paper and write this stuff down. Our new endings for the irregular preterite are iste, o, imos, and yeron for all 4 of our new verbs. We have the verbs tener, estar, poder, and hacer. We have those 5 endings with these 4 verbs. The bases change, but use those endings. The ten of tener changes to tuv. The est of estar changes to estuv. The pod from poder changes to pud. And hac of hacer changes to hic. But oh yeah, by the way, the L form, it's not equal. The C has to change to a Z in the L form, and it becomes hizo. So guess what happens tomorrow in class? Take a look at what we see in front of us right here. Push pause, look it over, and see if you can figure out what goes in the blank spots. Go ahead and push pause. Hopefully you recognize in the number 1, it says the tú form of hacer. You should know what the tú form of hacer is. It's hiciste. Numbers 2 and 3 are the same thing. You don't see number 2 have the word tú, but number 3, the answer to the question is yo. So it has to be in the tú form, so it's pudiste. And the yo form would be pude. Feel free to pause, rewind anytime you'd like. But tomorrow we do have a quiz on all this, and you can use your notes. It's an open note quiz. Buena suerte, mis amigos.